Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So just another quick one today, up in the local state forest. So I had nothing else to do today, so thought I'd come up and have another look around and whatnot. It's up here the other week, as you probably saw in the last video. I thought I'd come back up, have another look, do a few more tracks, and yeah, it's a little drier up here, so that's a start. When I come up last week, it was still a bit too wet, so yeah, as you can probably see over there, still got that ute. So it's a wagon, as they call it, not a ute. But yeah, just up here today, have a look around, and yeah. So just over there, turn the camera around. Just over there, bottom of the power lines and stuff. I don't quite know how to get up there, but I can see a track. So one of these days I'm gonna find it. I don't quite know how to get up there, but if you know how to get up there, let me know, because I don't think that's part of the locked out part. It could be, but I don't know. But yeah, if it's not, I'll go tackle it one day if you know how to get up there. Doesn't look too bad. It's a little steep, but should get up that alright. So I'll have a quick drink and then yeah, continue on. So I don't quite know where I'm going to go, and yeah, so I'll have a drink now and see you in a little bit. And one thing I just realised, I didn't bring up my rubbish picker upper thingy, the little tongs, and I forgot my bag. So yeah, I think I got something in the back of the car, so I'll pick up all these cans and just rubbish I find. So yeah. So I just had a look in the back of the car. It turns out I don't have any bags, but what I do have a bag for my chair. So these can be washed, I think. So yeah, I'll fit a bit in this and take it home with me rather than leave it here. So I'll get stuck into it now. There's a can there, can over there, just rubbish over there. So yeah, while I'm waiting for him, I'll yeah, pick it all up. So it doesn't take too long to do it. So I don't know why people don't do it themselves, but oh well. Alright, we'll get stuck into it and see you in a second.
The next day.
So as you just saw, I've gone back up and I've got my bag and my tongs, whatever they're called. If you know what they are, let me know, because I seriously don't know what they are. But I'll come back today, and yeah, when I was driving through yesterday afternoon on my way home, I saw a whole lot of rubbish. So yeah, I wasn't doing anything this afternoon, so come up, fill a couple bags. I've got 2 of these bags and the other one with me, so yeah, see how much I can pick up in the next hour or so, and yeah, clean this place up a bit. So if you're watching a few of my videos, picking up rubbish and stuff, this is one of the worst things I hate, is going in the bush and then having to do this. I always say it, I don't know why people do it, but yeah, it's people like me that come out here out of our own time and yeah, clean these places up. And you've probably heard me say it many times that I've been coming up here my whole life, and yeah, the last couple of years since I've got my license and pretty much got the Triton, I'll come up here more and more, and every time, without a doubt, there's just crap, and yeah, I don't understand why people do it, and just stuff like this. How wide that track is, and then you got to go on the edge of it where it's going to be wet. Just doesn't make sense to me. So this is a prime example of what shits me off. There's 2 plastic bags full of cans. Yeah, I don't understand why couldn't you leave it in your car? So look at that, 4 cans in a plastic bag. That's all you got to do. And there's no doubt that they come out of a 4-wheel drive. What's this one got in it? got a bit of water in that one. Empty it out. Just stuff like this. Well, I'm just next to the road. There's no way this would have just fallen out. This is... Yeah, just look at that already. That's ridiculous. And also stuff like this. Like, I get it's slippery and whatnot, but don't go through over there. Go through here where it's a bit drier. Over there it's just chewed to shit. Like, you keep going through that and it's going to get deeper and deeper. And then I stop going over there and then I go over here. Yeah. I see it every time I come up here. It's always something different. See what I mean about public road? It's this is the main road to the forest. So there's a few people that come and go through it. So if you think each of those persons, if they threw out one piece, that's 3 pieces thrown. And the next 3 people, and it goes and goes and goes. So that's what I'm trying to say. Is one piece of rubbish might not look too bad, but it adds up after time, and as you're driving, and after the 100th person that does it, it's a mess. So this is what I'm trying to say. This is a main road through the forest, and there's just people throwing rubbish out. I don't know what this is. That's some kind of shirt. I'll put that in the bin. Looks like a school shirt or something. So I think that's where I filmed the other day. That's every time I come up, it's chewed to shit. So yeah, starting to get over seeing stuff like that. But just don't go through it. You've heard me say it many times. I know what this is down here. We'll go have a look. What is this? That's looks to be a basketball or something. It's a bit flat. I don't know if it's going to fit in my bag or not. Why would you bring a basketball out here? I don't know, this track here looks alright. I don't know what it is. Motorbike tracks, but it's got to be like a car track. When I get my ute back, I'll go up there and check it out. I'll pick up this too. Got a bit of weight to that. This bag's getting a bit heavy now. And another ball. Don't understand why there's 2 basketballs up here. Here's one of the things I hate about this bag, is when you want to put stuff in it, the Velcro closes. Oop. It's getting a bit heavy, this bag. I'll go down here, and by the time I get down there I'll probably fill it up a bit, and then I'll get the other bag out. I've got the second bag out now. So this one's a little lighter. So this is what I mean. The can's just there, and the car's just there. It's how easy I'm finding all this rubbish. Just someone would have just driven past and just thrown it. Stuff like this also annoys me. Glass in a fire. I don't even know what they've burnt in here, but definitely don't put glass in. So look at that. That's melted, but yeah, hasn't got rid of it, has it? So another one here, that's being melted as well, but it's still a glass bottle. It's metal and There's all kinds of shit in this. That one's melted, I can't pick that one up. Not melted, but down here you got cans, more glass. Yeah. There's just some cans in there. This is not even a camp area. This is just left over from when they were doing the logging. There's just rubbish everywhere through here. Been here literally 2 minutes and I've got all the cans and yeah. Keep walking around now. I'll speed it up a bit for you because it's probably going to get a bit boring watching all this stuff, but yeah. So you probably heard me say it quite a few times on all my videos. I don't quite understand why people dump rubbish just over there around me. There's cans and stuff which I've got to pick up before I go home. It's just little things like that. Like I said before, one piece of rubbish may not seem too bad or too bad for the environment, but the next person that throws the rubbish saw that first piece and thinks, yeah, okay, it's alright to do, and the third and the fourth, and it keeps going and going and going till the place is just filthy and closed. I'm trying to film as a car coming. Nissan drivers. We'll just wait a minute for him to go.
A few moments later.
They're trying to go through a locked gate, so they've come over here to have a bit of fun and get to a gate that's locked because some idiots left rubbish and just wrecked it all for everyone else. So that's what we're going to deal with. People coming and wanting to get outdoors and get to a locked gate, and yeah, they can't go anywhere. So hopefully in the next bit of this video, yeah, hopefully you're still watching anyway. But just over there at the lock gate, we did a talk yesterday on a few things. So just me and a couple little bugs and stuff flying out. A couple locals that come up and we did a little talk and everything and discussed it all, and hopefully it doesn't get too long and too boring, but it has to be said, really. You can't keep doing this, can't keep locking gates and locking us out because of idiots going out and wrecking the place and rubbish. So that's really about it. The sun's starting to go down now, so I'll do a quick walk around with the bags while I'm here, and yeah, hopefully you enjoy the next part of the video and let me know what you think about it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I'm here with a couple of Central Coast locals, and we're just talking about a interstate forest, stuff behind you see, with gates getting put up and rubbish left, and yeah, just stuff like that. So sit back and enjoy.
Yeah, well, I'm new to the YouTube video scene. This is pretty much my first one, so bear with me. Yeah, I'm an admin member of Central Coast 4x4 Adventures, and I try and organise events and keep behaviour under control, all that sort of thing. And as of late, the three of us have been very concerned with the condition with a lot of the roads and the tracks in this area, But it's not just around here, it's pretty much the whole of the state. Out west at the moment, they're having problems with floods out there with all the rain. I work in the vegetation management industry, and I travel pretty much between Sydney and Bega, and it's the same everywhere. The ground is soaked. It cannot soak up any more rain. It might be dry conditions looking at the moment, but you don't have to dig far
to find water.
to find water.
You were just saying to me off camera how much rain we've had here just on the Central Coast alone.
Yeah, just on the Central Coast alone, I've got my notes here, it was something like 1,129 millimetres of rain in the first 6 months of this year.
So that's a
lot
bloody
of rain.
hell of a lot of rain.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, we've had some really serious floods. I've shown video and footage already of Wollombi, for example. I did my trip out there, and then 2 weeks later the pub there was underwater.
Yeah.
My car would have been about 10 foot underwater at the time. Since then it's actually flooded again, and it's been higher this time around.
They thought it was going to beat the 1949 flood levels, but it ended up stopping about a metre and a half short. Further downstream it broke, it actually beat the 1949 flood record, and the damage to roads and infrastructure and things down there is just absolutely unbelievable.
Even the Hawkesbury River, or Durban, even the Hawkesbury River, or the Durban, as the Darug people call it, that has had some absolutely massive floods. And I was looking at photos yesterday of behind the Nepean Rowing Club at Penrith, and the weir and everything there has all been pretty well near destroyed from these recent floods. And
well, the latest is that we're about to have our third El Nino in a row, for the third year in a row. So there's that, but then there's also the negative Indian Ocean dipole on the west coast,
which is looking to make it all worse.
So the forecast is that spring and summer is going to be wetter than normal, which in effect will lead to more flooding, more damage to tracks and trails. So we really need to start looking after our tracks and trails and things. Otherwise, this is what we're facing. Having more tracks, more roads, more forests, more national parks and things closed off to public access.
Now, when I first moved up here, this gate behind me wasn't here. I moved up to the Central Coast in 2012, and I remember back then we brought the old Falcon that I had at the time, and we brought it up to the top of the southern end of this track. And I got up there and I thought to myself, no, this is a bit much, I'm turning around going back. Little did I know I'd actually tackled the hardest part at that time. But we did that in the old Falcon. Now, you were saying before about vehicles coming in, lifted patrols and that couldn't get up there.
Yeah, there was one rain event where we were heading up to do a recovery. And there was a Nissan patrol that was
really struggling.
My Hilux managed to get through, but his patrol got to the point where he just said, no, I can't get up there. And then the forestry after that fixed the track, put the graders in, more gravel, all that sort of thing. Then we had another rain event, four-wheel drives got in, chewed the living daylights out of it, as well as all the dumped cars and rubbish and things in there. It cost forestry, I think it was $150,000 to get a crane in to remove all the dumped vehicles and boats and trailers and whatever else was dumped in there. And once they'd finished that, they put these gates in. There's this one here and another one down the bottom. So unless we start really looking after and respecting the fact that yes, it is public land that we are lucky enough to have the use of, if we don't look after it, that use will be revoked.
I think that's a big part of a lot of people's problem is people think, well, it's public land, we have every right to be there, and we do. But at the same time, we've got to show it some form of respect, or it is going to be closed off, as exactly as what has been shown behind us here. Anthony, in one of your recent videos, I noticed you were showing sections there where there's a nice solid road to go through, and then there's a sloppy section on the side, and you can see where everybody's just been going through the sloppy section.
Yeah, I just don't understand that. Like, sloppy here and then it's hard there. Why not go around and just...
No, we
you
all
go,
get
you go
that
through there and you're just ripping it up for everyone else.
we all get that it's a little bit of fun, and you know, I know a lot of us like to get our cars dirty and have a bit of a play around in the mud, but there's a point, especially on a road like through Arimba here and through the Wadigan Mountains, where you've got to stop and you've sort of got to think to yourself, hang on, is this a good idea or not?
Yeah, it might be fun at the time, but what if there's a fire or something? The fire trucks can't get through.
Well, that's right. That's exactly right.
I was in the RFS for 15 years as an active member. I'm still involved indirectly by helping out where I can when the balloon goes up. But I do know that the RFS, National Parks and Wildlife and Forestry all rely on these roads and tracks to get in and put bushfires out when they're around, cleaning up after storms, you know, removing fallen trees, all that sort of thing.
Just on that note,
So it is a very important fact that they need to be able to get through.
just on that note, Creek Road up in the Wadigans, would that be classified as a fire trail?
I'm not sure, but as an RFS member, there is no way I would even try and take a fire tanker through there of any description.
The condition of that road, because I know they do try to maintain it, but then again, we get people and certain influencers are guilty of this as well, and unfortunately their bad behaviour breeds bad behaviour. They'll go through it and they'll spin it up, and that road through there just turns to absolute crap.
I've been through there myself a few times. Admittedly, it was well before the rain events that we've had recently. I haven't been through since. I haven't been off-road much at all since the last lot of floods.
I haven't been up into the Wadigans since probably February, maybe March, and as all my viewers know, I love the place. I'm up there as much as I can, but I haven't been there. It's now, August?
Yeah.
So I haven't been there in probably near on 6 months. But I am heading up there tonight for my first camp for some time.
Yeah.
I need to get out.
Beautiful day for it.
Oh, it is. It is.
Yeah, and things aren't too wet at the moment.
That's right, and it's good conditions. There's very little wind. We haven't had rain for a week, or haven't had any substantial rain for
I
over
remember,
a week.
because I've been forward driving for a long time. You used to hear it a fair bit, but in recent years you never hear anything about it. And that was a protocol called Tread Lightly. And I actually looked it up on the internet the other day, and it is still big over in America, where they are facing the same problems that we're facing here, with tracks being abused, tracks being closed. So their areas for getting out into the bush are becoming smaller and harder to get to.
Same as what ours are.
So it's just a matter of respecting the bush, respect the other people that are using the bush.
And people that may have to, as you mentioned, the RFS and emergency services.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, by all means, jump on the internet and just look up Tread Lightly, and it's a very interesting philosophy behind the four-wheel driving over there. They have some awesomely modified four-wheel drives over there, but they still look after the place.
Now, and it's not just the simple thing of bad conditions either. We see it all the time. We all see it on all the Facebook groups, whether it be CC4A or Pajero pages or any of the four-wheel drive community pages. As soon as the rain hits, you get all these yahoos, or bogans for lack of a better word, that want to get out there and cover their rigs in mud. And it seems like the more mud you can cover your car in, the bigger your penis is. Well, you know, I think the more mud you can cover your car in, the more you play with your penis. It really is not something that's necessary. We get it's fun. We've all enjoyed a bit of time messing around in the mud, you know, maybe spinning a bit of a wheel. And I'm not going to say that none of us here have ever done the wrong thing either.
Yeah.
I know I have spun the tyres. Yeah.
But not in the conditions that we've had lately.
No, definitely not. I know I have spun the tyres in the mud out at Morisset Ward 21. I remember doing a trip out there and it was a bit sloppy, and I put it in two-wheel and did a donut out there. And I'll say it myself, I'm a dickhead for doing it. I shouldn't have done.
Yeah, we all do it at some stage.
Yeah, we're all dickheads. It's just a matter of, at some point, it's just a matter of whether you learn from it or not.
Yeah.
And as was with Anthony's videos, recently you can clearly see a spot where the road there is nice and hard, it's nice and firm, compact, and it's nice and easy to get through. And this is part of what I believe closed it off behind us, is that everybody, or a lot of people, were seeing that bit of mud and a bit of water on the side, and they'd hit that. And I know, when I've seen it myself, and I'm sure we all have, that people will go through and into the section like that and they'll slow down, and in some cases even drop it back into two-wheel drive. And then once they hit the water, they floor it to spin up the tyres and the throw mud and everything else. All that manages to do is rip up the tracks, which results in these things behind us.
Remembering that things like where we are at the moment on Red Hill Road in Arimba, that is a main dirt road track that goes through up to Colnura.
Much like the
But it
Forest
also,
Road.
it leads to all the forestry tracks that come off that, which are the ones that we use to go
Forward driving.
four-wheeling. If they close this road,
We
we
lose all of
can't
them.
get to those tracks.
Exactly.
So then where do we go?
And
It won't take long before we'll have nowhere to go.
Yep. And I remember not that long ago during, I'll piss off with your bike. I remember not long ago during all the rain events that we were having, you see somebody putting up a post, and I know there was a van just up the road here somewhere, and there were a couple just up the road here somewhere where, oh, I've gone out solo, I'm stuck, can somebody come and help me? And I remember one in particular, somebody, they had a lot of trouble getting them out, and then a couple of days later there's somebody else in exactly the same spot that was calling for help.
Yeah.
So you know the conditions, or the conditions are worse at this time. Why are you going out there?
I've noticed a marked increase, because I'm in a lot of four-wheel drive pages and recovery groups, a marked increase in the number of people that head out solo, they get stuck, call for help,
And they got no gear.
and I've got no recovery gear.
Yep.
Well, why are you out there
Just
in the
stupid.
first place?
Yeah.
But more importantly, why do you have no recovery gear?
Yep. That's something that I'm actually going to discuss a little bit later in another top 5 video, is things like recovery gear and the top 5 things that you should be keeping in your four-wheel drive at all times before you venture off-road. But that's the thing, you're heading out on your own, or then you don't put yourself in a point where you can even risk getting stuck like that. Now, on a slightly different note in regard to the track conditions, after the amount of water and that we have had soak in the ground, you get a bit of heavy winds, and this has happened quite a bit in a lot of places, and these beautiful big old trees that you see around you start coming down.
Yeah.
So
With all the rain we've had, they soak up a lot of the water that's in the ground. That then makes the trees a lot heavier. I noticed that in my industry, clearing vegetation away from power lines, that branches that I would normally cut away from power lines are a lot heavier than they normally are.
Because they're full of water.
They've soaked up that much
Yep.
water, which then also makes them heavier.
Yeah,
And everybody knows what goes up
must come down.
That's going to wrap up the quick little video there that we had. So that was about a 40-minute chat we had. So I've only put in about 15 minutes of it. Had a bit of a editing issue. I couldn't really sync the audio, so that's about as much as I could put in. But yeah, there's a second video coming out. So that's going to be on the Mixed 4-Wheel Drive Touring channel. So that's going to be the end of next month. So check that out when it comes out. And yeah, hopefully the whole chat and everything we had made a bit of sense and everything. And if people like you guys see it, then yeah, hopefully you can change the way things are and yeah, pick up rubbish wherever you are, and hopefully the government just starts seeing that we actually care. And not all 4-wheel drivers are out there to rip the tracks up and yeah, just be idiots out there. So that was the main reason behind the little talk we had up there. So if you've ever been up a Rimmer State Forest, half of it's closed off. About 25 years ago there was tracks everywhere and the main road was in okay shape. It wasn't chewed up and everything as it is now, but it's just the way it's been, I guess. So it's people like us that actually care about the place and yeah, want to see the place open, that gate open again, and yeah, so we can enjoy it a bit more than being locked out of these places and having nowhere to go. So as you can see in this little video, it's pretty green out there. There's tracks everywhere. It's a nice place to be. So I've travelled up and down the east coast multiple times and done heaps of tracks and everything. But it's always good to come home and yeah, just do your local tracks and just get out where you've been going your whole life and just enjoy it. But the way things are going at the moment, it's yeah, this place won't be open for much longer, which sucks, but yeah, it's people like us that want to keep it open, and yeah. So if you haven't already, give it a like and subscribe, and hopefully the video does a bit of justice and gets a bit of attention, and we keep this place open.
Oh, bugger. Cool. My back's not happy.
My foot's asleep.
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
Be good just to hold them down by your
Okay.
side. Yeah, great.